Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm so excited because I have a nothing over $7 makeup tutorial for you. I love these kinds of videos. I love drugstore videos in general, but I love being able to kind of go through my collection and really see how much things are, because I know drugstore prices have gone up like crazy within the past couple of years. So in today's video, we are sticking with all products that are just $7 and under. Let me know if you want me to keep doing videos like this. I've done a nothing over $5, nothing over $10, nothing over $20. So let me know if I should continue this series. I've used all these products. They are amazing. They're very long wearing. They're beautiful on my skin, and they're just amazing for the price. So I hope you guys enjoy the video as much as I do. Also, if I seem a little low energy in this video, I'm just not really feeling the greatest. I have a sore throat. I have really bad allergies. I'm literally sneezing every like 5 minutes. So I apologize if I seem a little down. I'm totally fine. I'm just feeling a little under the weather, but the show must go on. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. As always, don't forget to grab a snack and let's get started. Alrighty, so the first things first, of course, are the brows. One of my holy grail brow pencils is from COVERGIRL. This is the ultra fine brow pencil, and this one is in rich brown. I really like rich brown and soft brown. They both work really well for me. I just use this to outline my brows like always. I have so many favorite drugstore brow products. I feel like there's so many great brands that have really great brow pencils. Wet n Wild, ColourPop, LA Girl, Maybelline, L'Oreal. Like there's just so many, but this is just one of many. Has a really nice fine tip. This is a dupe for the Brow Wiz from Anastasia, which I've mentioned before, and it's just so good. So I love this pencil. Then for brow pomade, I have the Kokie brow pomade gel in the shade Dark Brunette. I love this shade on me because it's a really nice darker color, but it's not like straight up black. Again, with pomades, there's just so many great alternatives, but this is just the one that I'm currently using, and I've been obsessed with this. I'm going to be using an angled brush from LA Girl to apply this to my brows and just fill in the rest of my hairs. In particular, this is the LA Girl 207 brush. This is the only brush that I really use, to be honest, anymore. It's so good. Okay, this brow's looking a little jagged. We're gonna fix that with concealer, don't worry. There's just something about a pomade that I love so much. Okay, we definitely have to fix these jagged brows. So I'm going to use my NYX Full Coverage Concealer. I believe this is now called the Concealer in a Jar, and this one's just in the shade Beige. I'm going to be using this brush from Alamar Cosmetics, and I'm just going to take that concealer and just clean up the brows. I always do this. This concealer is a pretty good dupe for the NARS Soft Matte Concealer. Now, this NARS Soft Matte Concealer I love for carving out the brows, priming the lids, or underneath the eyes. This one from NYX in particular, I wouldn't use underneath the eyes because it's a little bit too thick, but for the brows, it's perfect. Then with my e.l.f. Flawless Concealer brush, I'm just gonna go in and blend that out. Okay, for eyeshadow primer, I'm going to be using the Kokie Prep Up Eyeshadow Primer. This is basically just like the NYX one, which I really love. I think the NYX one's like $7.50, and this one just made the cut with $7, but really love this. I wasn't really into eyeshadow primers until recently, and seriously, I will never not use an eyeshadow primer. It just really makes your shadows pop and last so much longer versus using concealer, which is what I used to do, so. I'm using the same concealer brush just to blend in that primer. It doesn't have any color or anything. It's kind of like the Urban Decay Primer Potion. It's just colorless. For eyeshadows today, I'm going to be using this palette from Wet n Wild. This one is in my Glamour squad. I've actually never used this palette in particular, but I have quite a few of these palettes in my collection. But I saw this online, and I was like, oh my god, this looks just like Anastasia Soft Glam, which I love that palette. And I love Anastasia shadows, but I know not everybody wants to spend that much money on a palette, so I think Wet n Wild is definitely a really great alternative. Drugstore shadows in general, I feel like have been killing it within the past like 2-3 years. I have so many favorites, but of course, we're keeping it all under $7 today, so Wet n Wild takes the win. So I'm going to start off with that transition color, and I'm going to be applying that right in my crease. I cleaned all of my makeup brushes yesterday finally, and I'm so happy because I went through a breakout on my forehead. It's kind of fading, but seriously, I had all these tiny bumps on my forehead, and I know it's because my brushes were that dirty, which is so gross, but they're clean, so we're good. So I'm using a Beauty by Rosita blending brush, and I'm going to take that transition shade, and I'm going to really buff that in the crease. This is like a really nice dupe for like, what is that shade called in Anastasia palette? I think it's called Burnt Orange, or no, not Burnt Orange, Sienna. This is blending in beautifully, which I expected. I mean, I've used Wet n Wild shadows before, but they came out with some new colors, and I had never really used this one before, so I was like, today is a day. Actually, this kind of reminds me of orange soda from Anastasia, a little bit. It's such a nice transition color. I'm going to be taking that more deeper brown in the palette, and I'm going to be applying that in the crease as well, just really building that shade up. And as always, I will leave the brushes that I use down below. A lot of them are from Amazon, just like miscellaneous brushes, but just check the description box. Yeah, this brush is a little too big for what I need. So I'm building the shade up. Now these are very pigmented, so just keep that in mind when working with these. I'm going to take a little bit of that darker transition color, and I'm going to start working that also kind of right in the crease, but sort of like in the socket of my eye. And I'm using like a white-haired brush, and this one's a little bit fluffy, and it's smaller than the first one that I used, so it like fits right in that area. This does not have to be perfect, and I know that it probably doesn't look super blended, but I'm going to be applying a shade all over the lid. I just kind of want to have that crease be the dark area, so don't worry. Okay, then this is the main star of this show. I'm going to go in with the Prismetal Chrome Eye Mousses. These are from J-Cat Beauty. I've talked about these before, but they are stunning, like to die for, and I just can't even describe it. They just look like wet and juicy on your lids, and I mean, if I could eat these single shadows, I seriously would. They're amazing. So when you first dip your finger, they kind of feel like a ColourPop shadow, but then when you apply it, it's just so metallic and wet and just amazing. So the one that I'm going to be using today is in Frosty Foil. These definitely do work best with your fingers, so I am going to attempt to do this with my finger today. My nails are pretty short, so I think I can do it. Do you see that? Oh my god, it's stunning. And they have so many colors, like, can we just take a moment? Look, my finger's a little too big, like, to get in there, because I want to put this on all over the lid. But yeah, they're super, super beaming. So I kind of just used a brush just to bring the product upwards because my finger's a little too big, but they definitely work best with your finger, as you can see. But once you pack it on, oh my god, it's so, so beautiful. It literally is just like a foiled shadow, and it's just like, oh. I'm just taking my brush just to blend out the edges a little bit, and this is my first time using this color in particular. I've used the eye mousses before, but this shade is stunning, and I feel like it would be so pretty for like prom or like a wedding. So pretty. Okay, I'm going to do a quick coat of the Wet n Wild Mega Length Mascara, and I'm going to be prepping my lashes for some falsies. If you get anything that I talk about today, you guys have to get these chromatic eye mousses. I mean, I just can't get enough of them. Okay, I'm done talking about them, but they really are amazing. Okay, so for lashes today, I'm going to use the Kiss Lash Couture Triple Push-Up Lashes in the shade Negligee, I think that's how you say it. And I know that I pretty much only use Kiss and Salon Perfect lashes, but it's because they're just my favorite at the drugstore, as well as Eyeliner. I feel like I just don't feel the need to splurge on super expensive lashes. I mean, don't get me wrong, sometimes I do, but I always go back to my Kiss ones because they have so many different styles, from literally like the most natural lashes to the most dramatic, so they're just bomb diggity. If you are new to my channel, then you wouldn't know that my favorite lash glue on the planet is from Kiss. The Strip Lash Adhesive is just so dang good, and it's like $3. I recommend getting it at Walmart because at Ulta it's like $5, so Get it at Walmart. Okay, lashes are on. Now it is time to move into the skin, of course. So I am first going to be priming with the Broadway Colors Face Primer. This one is oil-free and it's for blurring pores. I actually first discovered this brand from my Dollar General makeup tutorial, and I've been so impressed with so many of the products that I tried in that video that I still use them to this day. So this primer is really nice. It kind of reminds me of this one from Smashbox that I have, and this is literally so affordable. So I like to just apply this in my T-zone, my forehead, and it really does a good job at just smoothing the area and filling in your pores really nicely. So it works nice with my combo skin, and you literally just need a little bit, which I love. So been loving that primer. And then I'm gonna also go ahead and take my Wet n Wild Cucumber 3-in-1 primer water. I cannot get enough of these primer waters. I really like this one and the rose one. The coconut one is nice too, but it's very sweet. So if you're very like sensitive to scents, you might not like that one, but the cucumber one is just perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray my face. This is just gonna prevent your makeup from looking or feeling really cakey and heavy on the skin. This will help with any smile lines that you have, and it will just prolong your makeup. For foundation today, I don't think I've talked about this foundation besides in my Dollar General video, but this is amazing. So this is the LA Colors Truly Matte Long Wearing High Pigment Foundation. This is literally only $6 and it's so good. I'm gonna go in with the shade Soft Beige today. I originally had used the shade Golden Beige and it was a little too dark, so I'm gonna use some of this. This is very matte and moussey, so if you have oily skin, I think you would love this. If you have dry skin, probably wouldn't recommend it, but seriously, the coverage, the blendability, everything of it is so good for the price. Again, I would probably only recommend this if you have super oily skin. It works nice with my combo skin, but do you see that coverage? Like, it's so good. The first time I used it, I was shocked because I was like, oh my gosh, this is so affordable. Blends really nicely. My favorite way to blend this in is with a sponge. And this one that I'm using is from Wet n Wild. This does give you a matte finish, as you can see, but it's not drying or uncomfortable, but it definitely is on the matte side. I just love the coverage. I feel like it's a very natural full coverage foundation. Like, it's not super heavy on the skin. It covers up beautifully, has a really nice matte finish, but it's just really lightweight, so I love it. LA Colors killed it with this foundation. Okay, for concealer, I've really been enjoying the Revlon Photo Ready Candid Concealer. This one's in shade 030. I really feel like this is kind of like your skin, but better. It's not like super heavy duty coverage, but it's also not light coverage. It just looks really pretty underneath the eyes, and I love how creamy it is. It might be a little too light right now, but that's okay. I'm gonna go in and just add a little bit more because I feel like I need some extra coverage today. I did not sleep the greatest last night, could not breathe through my nose, and I just had the worst sore throat ever. You know when you wake up in the middle of the night and your throat, it just like hurts, like even just swallowing your own saliva? Yeah, that's how I felt last night. So I need all the full coverage I can get today. Almost used a powder that was not $7. For a second I thought it was $6, but it's not. It's $9 from ColourPop. But anyways, I have here the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder, one of my holy grails, and this one I'm looking on Target. It says $4.39 on Target. This is actually $8 at Ulta, so definitely get it at Target or Walmart. I'm hoping that the shade will be a good shade for me. I haven't used this in a little while, but I know that I love this powder because it's so good. Light Medium 20. Oh, okay, good. It's not too dark. For a second, I thought it was a little too dark. I feel like this is definitely more so my tanner shade, but that's okay. A lot of the translucent powders I have are like $8, or I've used them too much before, so this one saved me. This is really beautiful though, and it looks really beautiful in pictures, so that's why I really like it as well. So I'm gonna just take my sponge and I'm gonna set the rest of my face. This is very smoothing, and it just Oh, it's just so pretty on the skin. Like, you see that? It's so nice. Now for the brows, I'm going to go ahead and set with my Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow Mascara. This one is in the shade Nothing But Brunette. Could probably go up a shade in this, but it does work. And I really like the formula of this brow mascara. Okay, so I'm going to start off with bronzing the skin. I'm going to use the Makeup Revolution Ultra Bronze Bronzer. I love this stuff. It gives you a really nice wash of color, but it's not muddy or like too much on the skin. So for me and my fair skin at the moment, it's perfect. Random, but I've been loving this brush. I don't even know what it's called because it doesn't have a name on it. It's from Forever 21, and I'm just going to take this to bronze my skin. It doesn't have any shimmer or anything in it, so you could use this for contouring. But I'm going to show you guys this other contouring palette that is amazing. And again, it's from Dollar General, which Dollar General has some hidden gems. Which, by the way, Dollar General is not like Dollar Tree. Their stuff is not all $1, but it's like, it's affordable. Okay, I'm also going to bronze my chest. My favorite brush for doing this is the e.l.f. 101 brush. You can see it's like big and fluffy. I love clean brushes. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to just dip that brush into there. Top off the excess. And I'm going to just drag this down. I just feel so naked if I don't do this, especially when my bare chest is out. I like to do this because I really don't love applying foundation all the way down my chest. It's just not what I like to do. So if I ever feel like, okay, it looks a little bare, doing the bronzer down the neck, it kind of makes everything just mesh together and you don't have to worry about having foundation down there. So that's why I love it. For contouring, I have yet again another new contour palette that I love. This one's from LA Colors, and I love the fact that you have some really nice cool tones in here, but they're not too gray on my skin. They're not too warm, and they're just really nice for contouring. So for my fair skin girls, I think you would love this palette. I'm pretty sure they had a darker one when I was there. I think, don't quote me, you guys know Dollar General can be very hit or miss, but I love these shades. So I'm going to use this color right here, and I'm going to mix a little bit of this shade as well. And I'm going to use this, doesn't also have a name. This is from Royal Endline Nickel. I wish all companies would put their brush names on their handles. It's like so important, but Royal Endline Nickel, you can find that at Walmart. So, and this palette is very pigmented as well, so a little bit goes a long way. For blush, I have another Broadway Colors palette, again from Dollar General. I'm sorry, but I'm just like super impressed with the makeup from there. I mean, it's so good. So this is a powder cheek palette, and this one is in the shade Spring. To be honest with you, normally I don't go for blushes like this. I go for stuff that's a little bit more coral, but this just gives you the prettiest wash of color on the cheeks. It just looks so natural and gives you that really nice flush. So if you can't get your hands on this blush palette, Wet n Wild definitely is hands down one of the best when it comes to super affordable blushes. They're like $3 and they're amazing as well, but I wanted to show you guys something a little bit different because I literally use a lot of the same blushes all the time. So I'm gonna take the 3 blushes in here and just mix them and apply them to my cheeks. And I'm gonna use this old brush, which I've had since I was 14 years old, a freshman in high school. I'm gonna be 23. I've had this brush for 9 years. Isn't that crazy? So I'm gonna take the colors, top off the excess, and just apply those. It's very light, so if you're looking for a super intense blush, this is not it, but I just love how pretty it makes the cheeks look. Like, it just gives it the really nice flush that like we all love. For highlight, I'm using my Profusion Luminizer 2 5-shade highlighter palette. I love this palette. I should probably get the lighter version just because I'm so fair right now that the colors probably aren't ideal for me at the moment, but I'm still going to make it work. So I am going to be using the shade Aura and Visionary. I'm going to use the same highlighting brush that I always use from Amazon. I'm just going to mix those 2 shades, top off the excess. So pretty. I like to do a little bit on the chin. I think that looks really pretty in pictures. Now we can jump into the eyes and finish those up. So I'm going to go in with the light highlighter shade in this palette right here, and I'm going to be applying that in the inner corners. This has a little bit of like a purple undertone to it. It's very frosty, so I feel like it's going to be perfect with the lid shade that we have going on. Just opens up that area. I love doing this. It's like super satisfying. I'm also going to take that right on the brow bone as well. I really want to bring more light to the eyes, so I am going to use my Kokie Velvet Smooth Eyeliner, and this one is in the shade Champagne. It's just a nude eye pencil, and this one I've used for years. I love it. Also going to go back into the Wet n Wild palette. I'm going to use the light transition color that we used first, and I'm going to be applying that on the lower lashes. I'm also going to dip a little bit into that darker brown, just a little bit, because I don't want the lower lashes to be bare, but I also don't want them to be too dark. And I'm also connecting that up top. Okay, I feel like my brows are a little too light, so I'm gonna just run the mascara through the brows just to make them a little bit darker. This mascara is not goopy at all, so you can get away with doing this, but don't do that with like a super volumizing mascara because it's gonna just make your brows look crazy. Now for the lips, my signature, I have to do a nude lip. So I'm going in with the Kokie, lots of Kokie today, Kokie Retractable Lip Liner. This one's in Nude. I love Nude and Warm Nude. Those are my two go-to colors, but these are super creamy and they just glide on, and you can wear these just on their own, but I'm gonna top it off with a lipstick. One of my favorite nude lip colors is from Kokie. This is the matte lipstick, and this one is in 55. It's just my perfect nude combo. And then I want to amp it up a little bit and kind of just to go with the eyes, I'm going to use the Makeup Revolution lip topper. These are amazing, and this one is an Exquisite. When you first apply it, it looks a little scary, like it's going to be like really metallic. But once you blend it in, it's so creamy. It just makes your lips look so like wet and frosty. And there's no like chunkiness, like there's a glitter in it, but it's like when you rub your lips together, you don't feel it, so love it. Finally, I'm going to go ahead and lock my makeup into place with my same Wet n Wild Cucumber Primer Water. I've been loving this before and after makeup. Okay, so this is the completed look. Let me know what you guys think. I absolutely love the way this turned out. I know it's another neutral look, but the lid shade is different. The lid shade is just everything to me. Like, I feel like it really just inspired the rest of the makeup, and I just love the way everything turned out, so I'm happy. Let me know if I should continue on with this series. Maybe I could do $8, maybe I could do $4. I don't know. Let me know if you want to see videos like this again. Give this video a thumbs up if you love my drugstore / affordable stuff. I don't really like doing that. Give this video a thumbs up because I feel like you're gonna like it if you like it, and you're gonna dislike it if you dislike it. Let me know what other drugstore videos you guys want to see from me next, and leave me your holy grails down below in the comments, whether they're under $7, over $7, whether they're from the dollar store, Ulta, Walmart. Let us know so that we can go out and look good on a budget. So thank you guys so much for everything. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in a few days in my next one. Bye.